Okay. Hello and welcome to 108 Healing Senses podcast. My name is Jennifer Taylor and I'm so happy to introduce my wonderful guests, Andy and Jayne Porter, on the first episode of the series this year. So welcome.
Thank you, Jennifer. Nice to see you.
And you.
Great to see you, Jennifer. Thanks for having us on.
Oh, it's always a pleasure. I love watching your videos and joining your Chen worldwide meditations. They have been I stopped in at the last one. I did it and it was such a peaceful experience. So
yeah,
really
it's good to hear.
Everybody says that, don't they?
Yeah, and that's the whole point. We tried to make it relaxed, informal. Obviously Chen does his own thing, which we never know what he's going to do generally. So it's always a surprise to us as much as everybody else, actually. So, but the whole worldwide meditation thing, the whole concept of that is that, you know, we're all here trying to make a difference, trying to kind of change the vibration, bring the frequency up. So bringing lots of people together on Zoom at the same time across the whole world, you know, is a big ask, really. Mm-hmm. And we're really fortunate. We have some amazing people that follow us and obviously join in on these types of things like yourself. So, so thank you for that as well, of course. And that is the idea, is that, you know, it's a healing meditation for the individual, because every time we do these, the concept being from Chen, really, that we need to clear the person's field that's meditating with us as a group. And then as everyone's coming cleared, their vibration comes up, and then we join in together collectively. And of course, the guide, Chen and the team pull that information, that energy together, and then use that to, as he says, thump the grid, basically. So they send all of our collective positive energy down into sort of center of the earth. So that's really cool. So we quite like doing them.
I love them. I really look forward to the event. We've got another one, actually. It's not advertised yet because we need to organise a different booking registration for it, don't we? It's sort of crashed our system.
Yeah.
So many people.
Good problem to have.
Yes.
That's a very good problem to have.
Absolutely. Yeah. But it sort of sent everything spiralling out of control and we had a lot of problems. So Ollie's going to set up a different registration system for it, but it will be on the 26th of April, the date for your diary.
I'm going to put that in my diary.
Yeah.
What is it? 26th?
26th. What's on the calendar?
It's not in my room, though.
No.
Oh, Ashley's here. Hi, Ashley. Good to have you in the...
Good to see you.
As a viewer, which is good.
Hello.
So lovely. Thank you, everyone joining us live or on the replay or on TikTok. And I know, Andy, where did you say you were streaming to? Also, Instagram.
Our YouTube page.
Oh, there you go.
So our YouTube. I didn't realise you could do that. Actually, a box popped up, and it's because, of course, it's already logged me in as our account, and then it said you can stream to your page. And I thought, okay, just click that. And the beauty of tech, when it works, it's really good.
Oh yeah. And then when it doesn't, you're like, oh God.
When it doesn't, it's really bad.
This is spiritual expansion in the flesh.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the thing, Jennifer. You think about all of people like ourselves, we're spiritual people running spiritual businesses that involve so much tech. And, you know, these days to actually run a business online, whether it's a spiritual one or not, you have to understand and get involved in all of this tech to, you know, I mean, you said the other day, didn't you? I now know how to use Canva.
Yes.
Websites.
Midjourney
for AI images.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like Opus Clip and
Reels,
things.
carousels.
CapCut. Yes, there's a whole list now of like 10 tools that you need just to be able to go, hi guys.
try and reach people. I know it's
absolutely.
And I don't know if you have it too, but I just feel like the things that come up on my scroll, you know, on my feed are obviously things that I'm mostly interested. Sometimes I'm not, especially things like news things popping up, but also things, you know, it's a minefield out there, like really navigating, not getting sucked into AI, that just complete cons of articles or posts. You know, I feel like there's so much that people don't know whether it's true or not, or what's really happening, and it causes people to go into a bit of like a spin because they feel helpless.
I think that is one of the big challenges for us now, really, all of us together, is when we're all online in the way that we all are, we all on YouTube, Facebook, all the platforms, knowing what's real and what's not is actually quite difficult.
It's hard.
Because the tech is so good,
Mm.
and the IT and computers are so good now, it's rendering images that look like people and sound like people. So suddenly you don't know what you're watching, and there's so much mismanagement of the media and misdirection going on that, I mean, I know Chen's talked about it on quite a few of the podcasts we've done, and he said this will be the biggest challenge basically for the next kind of 5 years for all of us, really, as we get taken on this journey of suddenly AI is taking people's jobs, taking over completely in every sort of way, really. And, allowing it into your life to be helpful is probably one thing, but trying to keep it out of your life is another.
Yes.
All it seems to be.
Yeah, agreed. I've had similar channelings where I've gone into the future, and there has been I did a recent future series session with Anne Jersh, the founder of Future Vision, which is what I practice, and Jacob Rexray, and we went into the future 5 years, and what Anne observed and witnessed was how everyone was just absolutely sick and tired of the screens, including things for entertainment, because everything was being created with AI and people just wanted realness. So the spaces that we're creating, these live conversations, this is live. If you've got questions, put them in, and we'll put them on screen, and we'll try and answer them best we can, or offline if necessary. But
for Mrs.
Yes, but I definitely feel like these kinds of conversations are important to help people ground themselves and not get too swept away with things that are happening. And it could be absolute lies, absolute distortions, like we don't know. And if you can't have any control over a situation, then sometimes it's better just to retrieve all of your energy and just think, what can I do now in this moment?
Yeah, it's quite a good way to frame it, I think, really. And certainly kind of where we are, what we're seeing is Chen's directive. We both laugh generally because Chen's our boss, effectively, being our spirit guide, and he obviously does all of the channeling and that kind of stuff. So we are kind of working with him on a daily basis, and his remit really is, is staying authentic. That is the main thing he talks about all the time. You have to be authentic. You have to be real. If you make mistakes, you laugh about them. You carry on. But the difference between people like us and yourself and AI and technology is we make mistakes and we can laugh about that and we can observe it, whereas AI and tech won't do that. So that is how we'll be able to differentiate when we're watching something, to think, is this real or is this not? Is there that kind of feeling that this is real people that, do odd things when they're talking? Or is it AI and it's all perfect? Well, yeah, in your case. Well, that's menopause problems.
I know. Menno brain.
Yeah. Well, that was your big topic now, really, isn't it? It's kind of what you've moved on to.
Yes, it is. But it seems to be cropping up quite a lot in on our Monday evenings. As our audience, I think, we sort of realised, are sort of majorly my sort of age, and women. So they do. We get a lot of questions on it. So I've just done a PDF. Actually, I've tried to keep it very, very light-hearted. Nice. And I was asked to run a workshop because there's lots of ladies that would just like to get together on screen and chat about it. So,
that's great.
Yeah, we haven't set a date for it yet, but I have just finished the PDF. Just finished it off last night. So I've asked a couple of people to look it over and check that there's nothing, no spelling mistakes or anything like that, and then we'll have it available to download from the website.
Nice.
So it's my sense of humour.
I was just thinking you should leave some intended spelling mistakes. You could even have it as a joke, just to make sure this is AI.
Oh yeah, that's
AI emoji.
I enjoy writing. I don't know. I've always enjoyed writing ever since I was a child. So if I'm in the right place mentally, it just pours onto the paper, really, or onto the laptop. So yeah, I wrote it all myself. I did. The only thing I did ask for was the whole list of symptoms. So obviously I don't have all of them, and but
I think you're doing quite well. I think you got most of them.
Oh, naughty.
She stabbed me with a knife on air because she's menopausal.
Oh no! I mean, it's just covering it all in a very light-hearted fashion, really. So so once you've got the date sorted for a workshop, that'll go out as well.
That's exciting. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. I actually love hearing all the different creations that the both of you are bringing to the world together or independently. So it's very cool. I love seeing people just creating from their heart, like just doing what feels right and will help others.
Well, like Andy said, Chen always encourages us to be candid. You know, so what people see is actually who we really are. So, you know, there's no subject really that we're afraid to talk about, apart from controversial things. But
a couple of ones we would like to talk about, but we can't generally. So we try. Again, we're trying to kind of walk the spiritual path and stick to spiritual conversations to a certain degree. But we are aware that obviously things like menopause and those sorts of conversations are part of everyone's life, part of what we're all dealing with and the challenges of every day. And you know, when you start to get to a point that you do have an audience that's interested in what you say and what you do, then of course people give you opinions on, could you talk about this, or how do you guys do that? And suddenly you, not that you put yourself in that space, but you start to notice that people are coming to you for information, and then we have to go backwards and, you know, see if it kind of fits the narrative that we plan to talk about, and then are we going to talk about it or not going to talk about it? And,
yeah, I don't mind talking about anything really.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. And like you say, you know, Jennifer, we're all kind of here. You know, we give up our time, as you do with yours, to help other people. That's the whole point of being alive, really. Because, you know, if we're all doing that and we're all helping each other and we're building and growing communities, then it enriches all of our lives. That's the whole thing, really.
Yeah, I feel like those are the old ways, which will be coming back round again, because people, over time, there's only so much isolation that you can go through until you're like, all right, I'm ready to start mingling with people again. You know, I'm sure everyone has had at least one hermit experience in their life. I know I've had several.
Yeah, we quite like being on our own, really.
Yeah, monthly hermit modes is good. Gardening is very good for when you want to feel like a hermit. That's what I've personally found. So by day, I'm a gardener, and I feel so nourished and blessed also to be under the elements, working with nature. I feel like a real grid worker, and it's a really great way for me to regulate myself. And I'm finding it's also helping to balance my hormones, because I'm reducing my stress. I'm outside, I'm getting fresh air. So I'm seeing lots of personal shifts within myself that are helping to balance my physical being, because you have to nurture the vessel to have a wholesome, a complete experience, you know, or that's of the highest, is when you strive to live your best, healthiest, happiest life, most joyful. So
yes, and make the most of things whilst you can. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got like a little garden room on the back of the house. It's just a little kind of, it's only a small space really, with a couple of chairs, but we like to sit in there, have a coffee, look at the garden. You can watch the birds that are making their nests, and you know, the frogs are jumping up and down in the pond, and dogs generally barking at birds, and you just sit there and actually observe this whole thing going on that you're not really part of at all. But actually, it's very grounding and quite refreshing to see that, you know, nature's living with or without you, really. But if you kind of, you know, obviously we feed the birds and got hedgehogs that come out at night, and we go out with a torch and they're chasing around the garden and all sorts of things. So it's you know, it kind of makes life so much more interesting when you actually do connect to nature in that way, really.
We love it, don't we? I think for us, a lot of it started when we were all in lockdown, you know, and you were forced to stay at home, and it was beautiful weather, wasn't it, that year?
It was.
And you know, it sort of like made the effort to keep looking up and see what was going on around us. It was, it's lovely. And again, like I say, we don't mind being on our own, so lockdown didn't really bother us, did it?
Well, no, we work from home. Basically, I spend all my time in my room here. Jane's downstairs, so as I walk past, normally a cup of tea gets delivered into her desk. I go upstairs into my room, and that's kind of, so we are very used to kind of being around each other all the time, but also in a kind of working capacity. We're both getting things done, we're both doing the work that we do, and You know, it also takes time. I remember, you know, someone I used to work with years ago, when we talked about lockdown and working from home. So you have to remember, people aren't working from home. People are at home trying to work. And that is a big difference, actually, for a lot of people that struggle to be in home environment with each other all day, and maybe children and, you know, other distractions. So we're quite fortunate that I've been working from home for years. So it wasn't really a change for us to be locked in together.
It's a nice opportunity to get to know each other more so, and you know, strengthen your roots together. And it looks like it has, because you're both happy and you're still creating and you're still together and you're building. So I take those as all positive attributes that came from from all of the time.
It's our 20th wedding anniversary in August, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
20 years.
Yeah.
So
yeah. 20 years of bliss.
Love in action, that's it.
We're very lucky, really. We're very lucky to kind of, you know, find each other and kind of moved on to the spiritual path together. Because actually, when I met Jayne, I wasn't spiritual, and neither was she at all. So actually, be suddenly having these spiritual experiences was actually very, very stressful for a couple of years, because I started to see things with people, negative things, walking behind them, all that kind of stuff. Started to have a lot of kind of interference, and you thought I'd gone loopy, really, for a while. And then you started to hear guides and things. So both of us, you know, we didn't choose to be spiritual, as in some people go on there, you know, decide, I'm going to meditate, I want to be spiritual, I want to speak to guides and channel. That wasn't us at all. We were the complete opposite of that, really. We were basically not spiritual at all, had no intention to be. And then suddenly this path started to open when we kind of got together. And it was a stressful space for a few years.
It was, yes. Yeah, we sort of got thrown into the deep end, didn't we? But here we are.
It's a good way of clearing cobwebs very quickly. It's like, right, get in the deep end, right, learn to swim. Okay, you're off now.
We had
go.
Yeah, I think sometimes it felt like we were drowning, really. But I mean, again, this is what's kind of, you know, good for us, because we've been on that journey. We know what it's like when you're having interference and you've got negative things happening around you, to you, or people in your family that are being, you know, controlled or manipulated by chaos, and how to clear that. That was our journey for a couple of years, really, because everything was chaotic, and we did need to kind of, as you say, get in the deep end and learn, right, how do I navigate this? How do people do this stuff? Whereas I look at people now that come on our courses that we teach, you know, from a spiritual perspective, they're coming in on day one just wanting to do a meditation and, you know, just slowly. And I think, how lovely. That must be a lovely way to do things. And of course, it is a very nice way to do things, that you're actually in control of your spiritual development and journey, really.
I suppose that's the difference of being like everything activating from a space of from maybe a less joyful space, versus you feel grounded and safe enough in yourself to be like, actually, I want to learn more. So there's that natural progression of inner evolution of, you know, how can I advance my life in a better way? And I suppose that was a similar path that I also was trying to work through myself to get to this point.
I was going to ask you actually what your starting point was, because
I had a relationship breakup and a breakdown, and I also had like beautiful family. I love them dearly, but we had challenges growing up and dysfunction and ill health as well. So it all kind of culminated in like mental health crises over a few years. I'm way more in myself now than I have ever been in my entire life. It's like, this is the best version of me to date. So that's what I'm writing my books about, is kind of the journey that I took, and also how other people can how they can gain more awareness in their life to be able to make better decisions and be able to navigate a bit more easily. So that's my path right now, and has been. Yeah.
For how long? For a few years, or?
For my path, I mean, from childhood. But the major breakup was around 25. So a good I think it was like 2012, sorry. That was my first like I suppose you call it like mental health fracture, but then it was also this awakening process that started for me.
That's what happens, isn't it?
Yeah, and then you go down rabbit holes and you get sucked into things. That's why, again, I want this space to and I have taken your course, Andy, your 6-week protection and meditation course. I love it. I use it every day. I also use it for when I do these shows, so I do it preliminary to coming on as well. So I'm very dedicated to ensuring that my life is as graceful and flowing as possible for myself and those around me, and to also pass that information on for those that are ready to take it take it by the hands and go for it.
Yes. Yes, because at the time you feel like you are the only one that's ever felt like that, don't you? And then when you have that breakthrough and emerge and you start feeling better, once you put something out there, you've actually realized that so many people dealing with the same problems for different reasons, totally different reasons, but trauma does have a habit of, you can try and put it behind you, can't you? But it does have a habit of sneaking up on you, doesn't it? When you least expect it. And that happened to me as well last year. But
that happened to you last year.
Last winter, a year ago. Yes, I couldn't walk across the kitchen. I couldn't do anything. We were discussing this evening, weren't we, about how I mean, I'm absolutely fine now, so it's easy to talk about it. But everybody has different ways of dealing with their stress and trauma, so therefore their experience of how it affects them is very different, isn't it, from person to person?
Absolutely.
And when I had mine last year, I couldn't do anything. I literally just unraveled, and my brain just stalled, and that was that. I couldn't open my laptop. I couldn't do anything, and it went on for a few little months, didn't it? But I can honestly say, though, that it was an absolute breakthrough. I've never been happier than I am now.
Hey, I'm so pleased.
Also, you cleared a lot of
absolutely
old
things,
didn't you, really?
Yes, I thought I dealt with things, but I hadn't. I did go and speak to somebody for a few months, and she was wonderful and talked about everything. It's just good. I feel at peace, total peace.
Brilliant. And that's
sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say that's the path I would love for anyone listening to be like, hey, I'm not in a great situation right now, but I know things can get better because there's 3 people talking that have been through hell and back, and they're here talking, and they've got smiles shining through their hearts and their faces, and they want to help.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think that's why I enjoy this work so much. Actually, I know it's very techy. It's very trying on my poor brain to learn everything, but it's not about it's not about what you get in return. It's just about the giving, isn't it?
It's the experience,
isn't it? Yeah. So.
Also, we all realise, don't we, that everyone's been on their own individual path. Some people can cope with stress, some people can't cope with stress, and depending on how much you get, everyone's got a threshold. At some point, you start to buckle, don't you? And you look around you, and people around you seem to be okay, and you think, well, why have I got all of these problems? Or how do I deal with all these problems? How come other people don't seem to? And then you actually realise that everyone's having a challenge. Everyone has things in their life, and people in their life, generally the closest people to them, family and friends, that are, some of the chaos that's getting kind of created and whipped up. And it's how do you learn to deal with those people? And I think, I consider myself quite fortunate now, obviously with Jayne. As you said, we've been married 20 years, but we've probably only just learned to put boundaries in place over the last 2 or 3, actually.
The last year,
with most people and jobs and work. And now we've got a very rigorous, strong boundary fence that if you come bounding up, you could have come over it before, but now you'll find that fence is erected pretty quickly, and you'll find yourself back on the other side of it very quick.
Yeah.
But again, that is kind of people pleasers. I think people like ourselves, I'm sure you are, probably Jennifer too, you kind of fall into that people pleasing bracket because we're nice people, but that gets taken advantage of by so many people in your circle, family, peer groups and learning to put your boundary in place. And when people know there's a boundary, they'll push it occasionally. Then you get more respect when you say, well, no, that doesn't work for me. We're not doing that.
Yes, so it's being able to say no and not feeling guilty.
Yeah.
And that's what a good, healthy boundary is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Boundaries are actually very rewarding, aren't they?
They bring you so much more fulfillment, because you feel like, I have the time back for the tasks that I really need to do in order to complete XYZ, but in order to feel not frustrated. You know, when you can do work for everybody else, but by the end of the day, what energy have you got left for yourself? I know I've had that in the past. Again, the firm boundaries is good with, I feel like when you have a professional line, like these services as a professional experience, because it is whether it's experiencing and receiving wisdom and information from free podcasts, or any of the meditations that come up, whether they're paid or free, they're still going to bring so much value and energy and thumps to the earth, which we do need right now, and also to our own inner being and our families and beyond that. So it's always, I feel like we're in exciting times because many more people are able to access this information right now. I mean, we're streaming on multiple platforms. I'm seeing a good 15 people live right now, so thank you so much if you're tuning in, and if you're enjoying it. Like, what do you guys have any questions right now for what's going on in the world? Like, we're here to help you. We do have nice healthy boundaries, but this is a space where you can ask questions. So anyways,
well, I think that's one of the marvelous things that you're doing, Jennifer, really, is that, again, you put your time and you put yourself out and you say, look, I'll provide a platform for people to come and talk, you know. So if you've got questions, if you want to talk to people, other people, you know, here's a place that you can come, you can ask questions, and you'll get, you know, truthful answers from people with integrity. And there's no charge to that. It's, you know, we're all giving our time up unpaid for free because we want to make ourselves available, because we've been through different challenges in life. And I look back to when Jayne and I had our problems. I mean, the internet wasn't really that. I mean, it was over 22 years ago. So there was no ChatGPT to ask a question. There was no Google. You know, you were back to books, basically. So if you wanted to learn something, you had to go and buy a book, and then you'd have to spend like hours reading a book to try and work out how things were. So you look where we are now. As you said, it's kind of the technology has jump-started us massively. That now, if you have a problem, you can go to chat or something and just say, right, how do I resolve this? And chat will say, here's 10 steps. Do you want some more help? Whereas, you know, when we had problems, our choices were, do we go to a church and speak to a person of the cloth, which we didn't want to do. We're not religious in that way, didn't feel comfortable doing that. And the next option was, Jayne had a psychic friend who used to come to a salon she worked in, and we weren't psychic, we weren't into spiritual things. So that was the only two options apart from reading a book. So, you know, you look where you are now. If you say, right, I've got some interference that's changing my thought process, you know, manipulating my senses, you know, there's spiritual activity around me. What do I do? Now you've got, you know, as much resource as you need, and people like ourselves and yourselves that you can go and jump on channels, watch, listen to, and think, okay, there's people out there that can help me. But, you know, 22 years ago, you were literally kind of sat on a beach on your own throwing stones in.
We're still dying, weren't we?
I remember 2012 reading a Mind Body Green article, and it was about how the Earth was splitting into two. And then it was written by Dolores Cannon. It came from it, and I was like, oh, QHHT, that sounds interesting. So you follow the thread. And that's how I managed to get a past life regression, the QHHT, and it opened up. It was almost like me opening a door to what was, and just being able to retrieve more of who I was, and realizing that we all have more than one life, and it's just chapters in books, or books within a library, you know, and we're building our every life as a book, and we all get to choose what kind of chapters we have even if it's okay, it's getting a bit dicey. I want to just take a breather and step back a bit. And
I like that. We're building our own library. I like that.
Yeah, I suppose it's like the Akashic libraries, you know. But it is that kind of, you know, if we think about that, we all have our own books, whether they're made or not. Andy has a book as well, actually. You and Chen.
We do, yeah. I'm always planning to write more books. Chen's always saying, we need more books. I think, yeah, right. I've got no time to do more books.
I tell you what, if you want to, do it between the both of you and come up with a structure and then just speak it into existence. If you know you know, if that helps.
Well, what we thought we'd do is do a video book instead. So we thought we'll just get a camera person in to basically set up downstairs and we'll just talk our story, basically. And that way it's on video to watch. We can put it on YouTube and things.
We can probably do it in about 2 hours.
Yeah, we can probably transcribe that into a book rather than having to actually write a book. So
absolutely.
That was a better method to do it, really.
Yeah. And I've been having the same thing too. Of like, okay, I'm structuring three books right now. I know I need to get one done first, but it's been useful to kind of come above it all to see the hierarchy and the architecture of it all, and how because I want to lead people on a journey of self-discovery and being able to be self-sovereign, like really sovereign within themselves and know who they are and not be swayed or moved in certain directions if the information is false, kind of like what's happening right now. You can get people to a state of being unwavering with when there's stress and there's things going on around them. It allows people to have much clearer head, a much clearer heart to make better decisions.
Yes, wonderful. Well, I mean, it's all true, isn't it? If it's coming from your own experiences, it's all true.
And also the good thing, like when you did your menopause PDF, when you start to write, put pen to paper, or obviously you could type, but effectively you're channeling at that point probably. So most people said to Jayne, when I read her thing, thought, well, it's really, really good. And she said it was just flowed, it just literally came out all in one go. So that's channeling. You were channeling that from your guide probably, or some of your own thing, but you know, A-type. But again, we're kind of going back to the older world of doing things. Because when we used to write things down, you know, you are in that space that you're thinking about what you're writing, and then you are open to receive other information from spirit and channel. And again, I think people have gone away from some of these old kind of techniques that are great places to start to learn and develop, and be very surprised at what information comes through when you start to write and just put the thought out to your guides to, you know, just give me some info.
Yeah, I love that. I get it in the day. I get a lot of lines come to me or inspiration that comes to me when gardening, again, being outside, walking, mowing. It all starts coming in. I'm like, oh, that I'm just kind of like saving it in my mind bank for when I can get to my phone and write a note. Sometimes I don't always get it.
So you have a portal and then you won't be able to do that. You need to do it there and then.
I know. I don't always have my phone on me. Trying to keep the EMFs off my body while I'm with. Sometimes it's the right balancing act. Everything in life's a balancing act.
And the thing is, Jennifer, as well, if you don't partake to a good extent, you get left behind, don't you?
Yeah. And if you don't make content,
it's a difficult world to be in, isn't it? I mean, it's much easier to get your messaging out there, obviously, because there's so much more available now. But the way we have to do it is such a shame, really, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. It's going to be interesting how things roll. I do continue to just keep aligning myself with the highest timeline, but that is the greatest and good for all concerned on this planet, including myself, you know, and everyone, and family and everyone. So, and you just have to keep creating. The worst thing to do is stay stuck and do nothing. If there's bad things going on, how can I bring more solutions than problems to this world? And ask ourselves that. What can I bring to the table? What skills, what passions, what joy, what love have I got to bring to the table? Maybe it's just crocheting cats. I mean, people love cats. It's something that I mean, that's a complete other tangent, but it's creative and it's a niche and it's something that I know someone somewhere will do and they love it and they'll bring other people just as much joy by seeing their creations.
Yeah, yeah, and it's finding your thing, isn't it? You know, we all work, we all have to work. You know, everybody knows that's what pays the bills, but to have your hobbies or things that bring you joy are equally important, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the other thing, the diversity of people these days. As you say, you could pick any random hobby and there's a whole group of people that love that thing. It may not be for everybody, but someone loves it. And if they're doing what they love, their vibration comes up, their energy comes up. So whether you're digging, gardening, crocheting, there's always going to be other people that enjoy the same sorts of things and pursuits. And if you can connect those people together, then of course the actual experience is shared and therefore, you know, kind of increased from an energetic perspective.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what, you know, some of the sports I think is designed to do the opposite. So if you look at football, for instance, I know I talk about it quite a bit, but you know, I used to be very into football. I used to play football for years. I was playing for sort of county level and stuff. But football's a massively divisive hobby, really, because you've got two opposing teams, red and blue, always generally against each other. And you know, the team and the players are fine because they're just doing their job and getting paid. But you know, the crowds have this whole I'm red or I'm blue, and then you have this whole kind of like, you know, negative energy, energetics, argumentative, calling each other names. Is from an energetic perspective, you know, Chen said to me years ago, if you watch a football match energetically, it's massively negative because the two teams hate each other, they're swearing at each other. Some portions want to fight each other afterwards if they lose, of all things. So you think about it from a sport perspective. If we were engaging in sports that are positive for humanity, football would be the first thing you get rid of because there's so many people that follow it, and it's so negative.
Could you imagine any particular sport that would be like the most joyful sport, or just any sport that isn't done with anger or violence?
Well, yeah, because most of the sports, you know, again, you know, a lot of sports, fishing and things, you know, again, injuring or killing animals and fish and birds. So, you know, it would have to be
walking.
Yoga.
Yeah. Well, probably
yoga and Tai Chi.
Kind of group activities really that don't involve competition. Because as soon as a sport involves competition, then you're going to have the negativity of both people or teams opposing each other, which of course drops the vibration, which I'm sure is why they're so promoted on this planet. Because you look across all of the world, all of these sports are continually on TV, and you know, most guys I know look forward to Saturday because their team's on, and that's what they live for. And you think, wow, you've got that much in your life that you live for your teams playing another team, and that's the most important thing in your life. I think no wonder the planet's in the state it's in, because you know, that's the kind of mindset of these people, really. I know I'll probably get slated for saying it on here, but it is the truth, effectively, from you know, where I look at things, and certainly Chen's opinion of the truth, that energetically and vibratory, you know, football doesn't raise the vibration, quite the opposite.
I see it in schooling as well, this competitive nature about things, and really it's everyone is individual and unique. They will have the things that they are genius at, and then they will have other things that aren't their strengths and they're not that bothered about. So I feel like there's so many layers in society that have this competitive nature, but it doesn't say, hey, find out more about yourself. What's your unique creative genius? Don't ever hear that in schools. Maybe special ones, maybe ones that I don't know, maybe they're coming about now, but I feel there's so many layers of like, okay, well, where's their fear, where is their competition, where is their jealousy, anger, angst, you know, whatever the thing is, anything that is harmful or you know, just feels like a loss within yourself, that you're not good enough. I feel like that's the value, that's the frequency that is woven in through so much, that if you learn to start spotting it in every part of your world and your life, you'll start to recognize, that's a program, and I don't need to play that one.
I don't need to take part.
I don't need to take part. Like like you are now being an active player within your virtual reality game, and you're being allowing yourself to spot things rather than get triggered quickly. And now you can start to be aware more quickly about things that are happening around you and what might be a higher perspective on it, on what's happening, rather than just taking it as face value.
Because that is the thing, Jennifer, actually, and you are spot on, that if you look at all of our programming from school, everything in school is designed to make people feel neglected, not wanted, insignificant to a certain degree as well. There's nothing really positive about the school system. No one comes out feeling amazing about themselves and they were able to cope. You failed exams, or you didn't do this, or you didn't do that. The whole system's designed to basically be very kind of controlling over children, I think, really. And again, it's only as you start to get older, as kind of we are now, that, as you just said, once you understand how the system works, you can see why it's been built the way it has. And everything about that system is negative. From the first days you go to school, to when you go to jobs, again, it's more programming, more control, do as you're told. This whole kind of step in, stay in line programming thing. And then when you overlay that with government control, that's the top layer, effectively, that citizens of countries now have to be subservient to the governments and not say things that they believe, because we should be able to say what we think is true. And if it doesn't align with the general narrative, it should still be your opinion, even if it's not true per se, because there is no real truth. But if you look at kind of the way that AI is going, when people put these VR glasses on, you can imagine if you put VR glasses on a baby, they wouldn't even know they were in another reality. And if you never took them off, they would live in that reality all of their life and wouldn't know there's another one. And that's where I think this whole AI thing and VR together is quite a dangerous place for us to be, because effectively you could end up living in a virtual reality that looks and feels real, but isn't effectively. It's kind of like The Matrix. If you've ever seen The Matrix, which is my kind of favourite film. I know Jayne's not keen, but for me, The Matrix was a documentary really on human life, because it kind of depicted this kind of AI control that basically is controlling everybody. And most people have the VR glasses on and are living in a complete simulation without realising it, until someone throws you a lifeline and pulls you out. And then you get to see the real sort of reality.
There was another film, though, wasn't there, with Jim Carrey in it?
Eternal Sunshine? Or different one?
No, the Truman Show.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Series, I can't remember now. It was years ago, wasn't it? But that's very much the same, wasn't it?
Movie. Yeah.
Yeah, he was living in a simulation show.
He was living in the show, yeah.
He was the only one who didn't know he was in the show, basically. And everybody else knew that he was in the show.
He was the star, but he didn't. He only realised it when.
Yeah, he really was, wasn't he?
Wasn't it a lamp, that a light, and if you look on the internet, and there's lots of people that are saying, oh, there's interesting secret messages in this movie. Look at the light, and they'll do a still. I can't remember what it was. It might even be star constellation, but it was like a light, and that could also be like the metaphorical light dropping from the sky and nearly shattering your entire world, which is kind of what happened with the light.
Yeah,
lots of symbolism.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And again, when you sort of understand the world that we're living in, the symbolism tells you everything, because you know that all of these other organizations use symbolism in everything they do, because they have to let us know, right, that you're being controlled, or you're being programmed, or they're doing these things. So again, when you start to look out of the box and realize that you see it. So Jayne and I sit watching TV and we go, oh, look, there's so-and-so. That means this. So we both laugh. Because suddenly, and of course, the power is gone from the messaging, because you're laughing at the fact that it's a program that is designed to do certain things when you watch it.
Well, I think we've been taught, haven't we? Well, we've learned along the way to be quite suspicious of anything, really. we might overthink things somewhat, but we don't ever take anything on face value.
Well, it's intuitive. Your intuition, aren't you? That's the thing.
Yeah.
I feel with my body as well, and over time, as my intuition and my inner knowings got stronger, I get a real I suppose it's like an acceptance if it feels good, or a yes, or a rejection if it's a no, and I do feel it in my body. So I'm listening with my senses, listening with my body, to information that comes to me, so I'm exactly the same as the both of you. I don't take things on face value. Feel into it, and information will come and reveal itself, however long it takes. And you can save yourself a lot of energy and effort and resources if you don't jump into things just so quickly. Like, just take your time.
Disappointment too.
But also, I think that's one of the big problems in this spiritual arena. There's so many people that've got a voice that are messaging. You know, some of them are channeling fake energies. Chen's always talking about imposter spirits that people think are real guides that are not. They're negative. And, you know, Chen sort of laughs when we talk to him about it. And obviously we've talked about it quite a bit on some of our podcasts. But if you listen to the messaging, it tells you the answer. So if someone's talking about things that make you feel fearful or scared, or people that are banging on about conspiracy theories, whether they're real or not, doesn't matter. But if they're talking about them and they're creating fear, then of course that person has to be channeling something negative, because positive spirit wouldn't do that, and positive guides don't do that. So, you know, when we look across the spiritual arena, so many people message us, well, message you because Jayne picks emails up, but people are messaging and emailing every day saying, you know, is this person real? The messaging seems off. I don't believe anything that she's saying or he's saying. It doesn't feel right. And of course, well, you're right, aren't you? Because if you've picked up intuitively that everything feels wrong, as you just said, then that is the answer. You don't need us to verify it. You can, you know, or I just start listening to things. If I listen to someone talking on social media, Facebook, you know, TikTok, whatever, as soon as I hear a few words, I'll either tune in and listen to the rest of it, or I think that's a rubbish and just move on. Because again, you've got this kind of like, you know, beacon that's like, you know, the red light flashes and you think this isn't any good, just swipe it off, basically.
I've had that with people that come on my feed and I'm like, oh, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just that the resonance is off. It's not in alignment with me. I'm like, I can't listen to this. It hurts my ears, and even having to just yeah, so I don't know, it's I have found myself reducing the amount of exposure that I have to kind of like watching other people's videos. I do watch you guys' videos. I don't always have a huge amount of time these days either, so the time I do have, I try and whomever resonates in that moment I'll listen to. But I'm finding that the circle of people that I'm listening to is different from before as well, because I find this is what I kind of find with people is if they haven't fully balanced or harmonized their life and it's still a bit rocky, they'll that imbalance, I just don't resonate with it, and I find it really challenging. Yeah, so it's a bit like it feels like they're going on their path right now, but I don't feel like I can listen or join, at least not in this moment, because it just doesn't resonate.
No,
and that's okay, because people change as well, or people just continue developing, and you'll grow with them. And I trust, and I hope that will be the case with the three of us as well, and your team. So yeah.
Yeah, when you realize all that, your circle starts getting a bit smaller too, doesn't it?
Yeah. Happy for it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, also you're blocking out negative energy again. So when we talk about this energy that's either positive or negative, polarized, or obviously not effectively, but the more negative energy you let into your energetics, then it's going to change you. So if you sat in a room all day and just listen to news that's probably not even real, so listen to fake news that's negative, you're not going to be a happy person after a week. You're going to feel like, you know, jumping off a wall, because if you're exposed to all of that negative energy, it's going to affect you. Whereas if you were sat in a room somewhere and people are coming in singing and dancing and they're happy and laughing, you're going to leave after a week very, very happy, probably free. So, you know, it's what we allow into our field, isn't it? It's so important, I think, really.
Yeah. Out of interest, with the both of you, have you had it with anyone close to you that you've had to have that conversation of saying, look, try not to look at the news all the time, especially all the things that make you fearful or angry, mostly fearful. Like, I mean, do you have people in your life that you've kind of said that sort of thing to before? Or
All of our both parents, really.
How do you bridge that conversation?
Well, I try and be tactful. I mean, my mum is the only parent that we've got left here now. She's 87, and she does follow everything she hears on the news, everything a doctor tells her. You know, she is very conformed in that way, isn't she? Yeah, bless her.
Well, they're all programmed.
But she's very resilient, and she's very stubborn. So sometimes I say something, sometimes I don't.
Well, it's like pick your battles thing, isn't it, really? Because again, if you know that you could keep talking to them for hours on end and show them, you know, proof about things, they still don't believe it. So effectively, it's kind of, is this a battle worth having, or do we just smile, nod, and, you know, I mean, if we talk openly with your mouth, we'd make a toast curl probably in our world. So we just don't have those conversations with her, do we?
No, and I don't want the negativity either, honestly. I mean, she's living her life and making her choices. So, you know, she's happy, isn't she? She's fine.
No, she's not happy.
She's happy not being happy. Sometimes I think that's also a thing. It's a known. So it's easy to just stay in the known, even if it's like being under this weighted duvet made of a dark cloud. I think genuinely, I mean, that's from my previous experience of having that. That's kind of what it felt like. But until I like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to be happy in life. Then things started to change, and I had.
I think you can change that. You can alter your life, and that person perhaps isn't in your life anymore. That's, you know, that's great, isn't it? But I think when it is your family, or, you know, people that you are looking after and doing things for and you love, I think you just have to have your own personal resilience and boundaries, don't you? You know, and if you know that, I mean, I could come off the phone, but time I speak to her, I hope she won't ever listen to this. You know, but if I came down to her energy level, you know, then I'd be miserable every time I spoke to her. But I don't come down to that negative level. I stay high vibe and resilient.
I suppose we have to lead the way, and if they choose to continue as they do, that's up to them. But they can also see that we're doing something else and it's working. So
absolutely, yes.
Well, that's a really good point, Jennifer, actually, because again, you know, Chen always says to me, like, you know, you have to be the lighthouse. Somebody has to be there to kind of spin that light around and say, look, you know, if you resonate with us, follow what we're doing, what we're saying, we'll help you, bring you on our path, or, you know, we'll help you onto your path in a positive way. But effectively, you know, if you sit in a corner and think, well, I could help all these people, but I'm not going to say anything, then that's kind of doing a disservice to you and them. So I think you do have to, at some point, have an opinion and let people know, you know, this is our opinion. Something you're doing may not be great. But on the other side of the coin, of course, there is self-responsibility, which, you know, is the thing. We talk about it quite a lot around nutrition and things, don't we? Yes. Nutritional choices for people. And you think, well, there's no wonder they're ill, because they, you know, they eat McDonald's all day, so they can't really expect to be well, because McDonald's isn't made for nutrition, is it, basically?
No.
I've got some friends, you know, some people in our circles and family that do that. So we do point it out and say, well, of course you're ill. You don't eat the right things. But again, nutrition's kind of been taken out of the general mindset. Because the idea is that, well, if you're ill, go and see a doctor, he'll give you some pills, basically, change the chemicals. They won't ask you what you eat and what you do and how you live. They'll just dish out some pharma medicines that, you know, make certain people very rich.
I have noticed where people give away their authority. That could even be for things like council tax, because when people don't pick up after their dogs, gross, but it does happen, and including rubbish as well, which I can't believe rubbish is still thrown on the floor. It's really sad, actually, if I'm being completely honest. I've completely lost my train of thought. It's the people not picking up from their dogs, but what was I saying before? It took me off.
So giving away you've given away
self-responsibility.
Yes.
So I had the inspiration or the idea of perhaps people don't tidy up after themselves because they just think, well, one, they're in a lower vibrational state to even not care, but think someone else is going to tidy up after me because I pay council tax or whatever the thing is. So they're like, they're externalizing this. Well, I don't need to look after it because I've already given it to someone else to take care of it for me. But it's the same thing for food. It's the same. It's every system in our lives, every aspect that we go into, public spaces, our private spaces, home spaces. We're constantly navigating on, well, are you holding your own power or are you giving it away for someone else to have decisions on how your life should be? It's like, no, take it back for yourself. That's the only way you're going to live the life you actually want, is you have to take it by the reins.
Yeah. You are the master of your own destiny, as they say.
Yeah.
And you have to live your own truth, don't you? If you do what you say, so many people say things and don't do it themselves. And I've always been quite shocked in my life, really. It's some of the people I respected quite a lot years and years ago. Then you find out the things they are saying because they're spiritual, they don't do in their personal life, and quite the opposite, a lot of them. And it comes as a bit of a shock. You think these are people you sort of, early when we were in our early spiritual path, you obviously know what I'm talking about. We sort of aligned with some people, went to some groups, meditation groups and spiritual groups, and then you realise that the people running them aren't quite what they appear to be.
No.
Or they say the right things. It sounds lovely when you listen to it, but when you get to know them personally, you think that's not how you live. So you're not living in accordance with what you say, and therefore, again, energetically, the energy is going to be off because you've got to walk the walk and do the talk, haven't you?
I've met a few of them in my time. They paint a picture of one thing, but they are just so unhinged or imbalanced, or just they haven't processed their own wounds. So it comes out in other very destructive ways, and it's
very narcissistic.
Yes, but there's so much of it everywhere, and it's only going to get more so as well as people start coming online with their spirituality, and then there's going to be all these like new awakened babies, like just going for it.
Probably all sort of go one way or the other, won't it? It sort of feels like sort of society is kind of at this crossroads, really. We've got people becoming spiritual. People are hearing, seeing things. There's a mental health crisis, which is spiritual, in our opinion, really. And obviously, from Chen's take, most people that are having a mental health problem, there is a spiritual source to many of those experiences, really, that doesn't get talked about, hasn't really been surfaced into the kind of general population effectively. So there's that aspect. Then we've got the tech companies driving us down this tech implants, trying to get the internet in your mind and all this, kind of get you hooked up and all that kind of stuff. So it's almost like there's these two paths, and those paths are going in very different places. So I think it's going to be pretty interesting. Of course, the youngsters are the target, because the youngsters will be the ones that they try to get the kind of tech into. And it's the older people like us that can probably see past that, and we're all going off in a different direction with you, gardening and into nature, really.
Yeah,
it's a good place to be. It's a very good place to be. Yeah, I don't know what it will take for people to have more awakenings, but I suppose each and every single one of us is having unique experiences, and we will all wake up in our own time, at our own pace, in our own ways. We can't force it on anyone, and that's also part of the journey. Is sometimes you're just there to be a support or a witness, or just to hold the space and not interfere or not do anything. Just to be there in love, and just be there for a friend if they want to reach out to you, or whatever it might be, or share a smile, just like you and Chen said the other day as well. Just share a smile.
Yeah, I'll play that, because of course I don't remember these things. So when I go to work, I was going to the office, the SRA office. So I'm playing like the day before as Chen, and that did make me laugh, actually, his little thing, which was funny.
Yeah. So
just smile at somebody, get them smile back, or just a tiny act of kindness can make someone's day, and we never think about that. You always think you've got to do something amazing for other people, but literally, just stop and let someone cross the road that is on a busy road that can't get through, and that'll make their day. A smile to somebody else that's having a really bad day, or may have received bad news. Just sometimes the tiniest things are kind of the biggest things, really. But I think, again, as a society, we've kind of gone away from that. We're looking for big, extraordinary things to happen, but it's the small things for most people that make the difference.
Yeah. I agree.
Oh, well, it's been so lovely. Is there anything else you'd like to share? I know we've hit an hour, which I don't know where the time's gone. It's always, and actually, thank you, Jayne, for joining me and us. I know I planted this seed last year.
I know.
Thank you so much. Just even coming. Sorry?
It's been lovely to be here. Thank you.
You both are always welcome. Bring with your cup of tea.
Yeah, turn over the cup. Well, it's like a coffee chat, isn't it? And obviously, we consider you to be a good friend, and we're supportive of what you're doing because we know how hard it is. I think people don't realise that running these podcasts and trying to hold a space for other people to help somebody, it's not that easy to do, and it does feel like a grind. Sometimes you wake up and you think it's another day, and Jayne will say, I've spent hours doing a carousel post and I've only got 10 likes or 2 comments. And so I don't know why I bother. You think, but a lot more people saw that post.
Yeah.
And that might have affected someone's day. But the fact no one commented, and I think we're all kind of fatigued with social media. I mean, I know for me, I don't comment on people's things most days because I'm looking through a feed, as we all are. So basically, most of it's adverts here flicking past. And if I do see something I like, I do try and put a like and a comment generally, because I know what it's like on the other side of the coin when you've gone to the effort of creating a post or an image, and you found some narrative and text, and you've actually got that out there, hoping that somebody might see it and think, oh, this resonates with me. But to do what you're doing is, I think it is a marvelous thing at this point in time, really.
Yeah.
So stick with it.
Thank you, and same for both of you and your team as well, because the world needs more solutions and positivity and just inspiration to be our better selves, to be our best selves.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we could do that through just being ourselves, really. I think that literally is just be ourselves. Strip everything else away.
Be ourselves and do what we do.
Laugh every day.
Laugh every day.
That's what we do. We laugh every day.
Wonderful. Do you have any final things you'd like to say before we complete, or?
I don't know. You've normally got a list of things that we're doing or things that are coming up. We've got the worldwide meditation that you talked about. Yeah. I've written it down, look, Jennifer. 26th of April.
26th of April, the worldwide meditation.
I couldn't remember when it was.
Yeah. And Chen's next workshop is March the 29th. And this time he wants to base it around the astral planes and nighttime interference. So it includes a chat from Chen about the subject, and then he does a meditation. Then we have a short break, and then he takes questions and answers with me hosting.
Lovely.
You enjoy, don't you? You like that?
Yeah, so that's March. Yes, I do.
Jayne prefers talking to Chen than me, actually, I think, these days. Seems to spend more time talking to you than I do.
Yeah, Chen always says, should we let him back?
Yeah, I can imagine what he says.
Oh, wonderful.
So, yeah.
That's great. Sorry?
No, sorry, Jennifer.
No, I was just going to say, are there any particular handles or websites you would like to share that people can contact you and book to come on your courses or anything?
Just the website, really. We tend to focus everyone into the website. So andy-porter.co.uk, or type in Andy Porter Psychic Surgeon on Google, YouTube, Facebook, all the other places that you can. It should pop up. So we tend to try and use the website as the kind of core focus. And then all of the things around the outside are things around the outside, really. It's all of our courses, everything we do for free. Jayne sends out newsletters with coupon codes for discounts, that kind of stuff quite often. So if you're interested in what we do, head over to the website, join the newsletter, and then drop us a mail, have a chat.
Everything we sell is on there, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got a lot of things going on generally.
Yes.
Behind the scenes.
Always.
Yeah, you've got your pendants as well, and you're organised.
Yeah, and Vanessa is currently helping make
That's the latest.
The new pendant.
This is our new pendant,
very powerful.
basically. I don't know if you can see that properly, but this is kind of like it's kind of got a tensor ring in with some magnets as well as orgonite. So it's kind of, it was Chen's idea as a build, basically, and it's got a kind of quartz crystal and things in it. So the idea is that it's kind of orgonite added to tensor ring and pretty strong magnets. So effectively, it's very, very...
It's very powerful. You put it in the freezer, didn't you, with a bottle of water on it?
Yeah, and it created a huge, big cyclone, effectively, as it kind of froze. So we know that they're very good. Well, I've been wearing this one for, well, this one's quite new because it only came a few days ago, but I've been wearing the prototype for quite a long time. I could feel the difference energetically. They're very strong.
Probably not for people with pacemakers, perhaps.
No, not for people.
Do not wear.
No, got embedded electronics. It may not be ideal, really.
But they're not actually on the shop at the minute either, because we've only just got them. My friend Vanessa, who works for us, she does other things as well for us.
Yeah.
But we've actually now she's making the orgone. So all to Chen's recipes.
Yeah.
But it was a bit much for you back along, didn't it?
Yeah, Vanessa's fantastic, actually. To be honest, she's better than me anyway, because she's, female, so she's a bit more...
Well, she's very arty.
She's arty.
Yes.
Whereas I just used to pour it all in, mix it all up, and my things were functional, but never looked particularly nice. Whereas Vanessa's things are functional, but they look lovely.
Well, the ones she brought down the other day, we've got some beautiful new pyramids and cones and things to go on. They're absolutely beautiful.
Ooh,
so hopefully they'll be on by the next few days.
Perfect. Well, I will have to go and have a look.
I'll let you know when the new things are on there.
Excellent. Well, until next time, it has been so lovely speaking with the both of you. Thank you for coming for the beginning of the Firehorse year for the podcast here for 108 Healing Senses. And just anyone watching and you resonated, please do follow both of our channels and all of the other linking things as well with Andy. You're co-founder of the SRA, aren't you? Spirit Release Academy.
Yeah. So we've got a lot of things going on. John and I are very busy, and Ruth's our kind of engine really behind the scenes. So she's busy doing lots of things every day, and we're growing very, very, very quickly, because again, what we're doing is kind of pioneering, and we see it as a world leading kind of method to help people clear negativity, really, and practitioners and things. So there's a lot of things going on this year from the Spirit Release Academy perspective. So I've kind of got two hats. I'm here like half the time, and then the other half the time I'm not here and I'm doing that, which is sometimes a challenge to do two things at once, because it's running two businesses really, and they're quite similar, but they are quite different and diverse in different ways. So you get 2 days of a quiet house, don't you? You like?
Yes.
That's nice. Oh, well, lovely. And please do follow and get involved. I'm sure there will be some courses coming up that will be able to hit the spot, and highly recommend any of your courses, because the ones I have been on have been really, really fantastic and have helped me day in, day out. Very much so. So thank you.
It's lovely to hear. Thanks, Jen.
Good.
Lovely. And thank you for everyone. We got lots of people saying lovely things.
Hi, Elaine.
Thanks so much for joining. And if you'd like to learn more about me, what I do, check out 108healingsenses.com, or you can go to my Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/108 healing senses, and I've got some different memberships and services there as well, which should be up someone's street if you resonate with me and what I do. So thank you so much for now. And Andy and Jayne, lovely speaking with the both of you, and we'll do this again soon.
Perfect. Thanks, Jennifer.
Right.
Take care.
Thank you.
Yeah, take care. Bye.
Bye.